Hi, and welcome to Credit HomeWatch Edition QRS reporting app for Android. How to scan a QR code on a credit card and complete a report and send a report to a client. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to be provided a what we call a credit card with a QR code on it. And it has some basic information. It has the client ID number, has the address, has the cred actual name. There's a name for the cred, and then it has the cred ID number. And so what a lot of people do is they carry these with them in the vehicle. When they pull in the driveway of the client site, you then pull it out, scan it, and do your report. Now the critical thing to remember is credit software's main purpose is to prove to the client that you're at the client's property when you say you're going to be there. And so there's a geofence, an imaginary line that's around that property. And when you go to scan the QR code, you must be at the client's property or it won't let you in. So once you arrive in the property, you open up the QRS reporting app, hit scan a cred. You should have already given permission for the app to use your camera. You'll go up to the cred QR code, and it's going to give you the option to choose from any multiple checklists. So the first thing is you're going to notice, is this a scheduled visit? What this means is you have an assignment that's scheduled for today, and that's for your primary HomeWatch checklist. You're going to notice sometimes it's going to say, is this an unscheduled visit? That's okay. What it means is you don't have an assignment for the particular time you're there. As long as you have permission to complete reports at a client's property without having to have an assignment, then when you scan the QR code and it says, is this an unscheduled visit, it will actually create the event in the calendar in the admin's dashboard. Now, you have a choice at this point to choose from your primary reason for being there or one of any of your permit tasks or bonus checklists. You could be there supervising a contractor, doing a car drive, possibly a non-routine visit. These are bonus checklists. So you choose the checklist for the reason you're there. In this case, we're going to choose HomeWatch. So I choose the HomeWatch, and here's my checklist. So what I'm looking at now is I start answering questions. These are conditional questions. So for example, roof, chimney, gutters, and downspouts checked and all okay. If I answer yes, nothing happens. But if I was to answer no, it's going to ask me for photos and a comment to please explain. Now, that's what we call a conditional question. Just remember that photos are optional. Anytime it requests a comment, comments are mandatory. The next thing we have is a instruction. This is not a question. It just says check and collect and remove solicitation in newspapers. You have to acknowledge that you've done it. Now I go back and I continue on. Check for signs of vandalism. Everything was okay. Exterior doors and windows checked and all okay. No. I happened to find a broken window. So I say no, and that triggers the conditional response. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, found a broken window. Now, if you have voice activation, you can turn that on and you can dictate into these text boxes. So now that I've done that, I want to take a photo. I have an opportunity to take a photo or choose from the gallery. One thing to note, the difference between iOS or Apple devices and Android is when you take a photo in the Credit app, it actually creates a copy and puts it into the into your library, photo library. So I'll take the photo, I accept it, I have a chance to annotate, and you can make those lines smaller and everything. And when I'm done, apply, select done, and my photo's added into the report, and it's attached to this question, this conditional question. So now I just go through, alarm system checked and all okay. Yeah, it's done. But I'm going to leave the last question unanswered to show you what happens. And just remember, there's a general photos and general comments at the bottom of every report. If you have something that doesn't apply to one of your questions, you can fill it out. This is not mandatory, it's optional. Both photos and comments are optional. So when I'm done, I select report details, and then I'm going to select I'm done. And it says not all fields are filled out. The critical point at this point is to go back to the report, is do not select the back arrow here, select report details. And now when I go back, you're going to see that anything that I've missed is highlighted in red. If you hit the back arrow at the bottom of an Android, it won't highlight that. You must go back to the report details. And then all I say is all doors, windows checked and locked, yes. And now I hit report details. I'm done. And it's now, the way I have it set up is I'm going to send this report directly to the client's property, to the client's dashboard from the client's property. And I want to put a note in there prior to sending it, because these comments will show up and in the body of the email. So here is the report. We found a broken window. Oh. Okay, now I hit I'm done, and now the report is submitting. Now, remember that if you're at a client's property or site where you have a weak or low data signal, it may take some time for the report to submit to the dashboard. So what happens at this point now, because I have it set up to send directly to the client's dashboard, a copy will then go into the admin dashboard for me to review later when I get back to the office, or the admin or manager. And I will be covering how to set that up in future videos. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for choosing Credit. Talk to you in the next videos.